You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's American Idol After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's American Idol After Show.
All right, Idol Nation, what is up, guys? We all know that Bing is for doing, and what are we doing? We're doing another after show for AfterBuzz TV. This is Idol, American Idol, that is, Season 11, Episode 39. We've been here for a while. I'm JC, and we're bringing the heat always. But, oh, there we go. We got the theme. Ronnie Jr.'s Man in the Theme. What's up, Ronnie? How are you?
I wasn't late on that theme, now was I?
No, not at all. We just
right on time.
We go with the flow. Hey, and speaking about flow, we got to introduce our host, actor, model, musician.
Hey, what's going down?
Hey, Mr. Mark Allen. What's up, Mark?
What is up is two amazing artists coming together for our finale and totally took care of business tonight.
Oh.
Totally took care of business.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, really? So we're getting into it right away. Okay, quick word. One word for tonight. What would it be? For the show, that is.
I'm going with amazing with the A-H-H-H. Amazing. What about you? What do you got? You make up a word tonight?
No, I didn't make up a word this week.
Minutia.
Minutia. There we go. I'm gonna go with pressure.
Yes.
Tonight was all. It was the moment. Can I change my word?
It's too late.
Rats.
All right.
Okay.
Well, we can say farewell to Joshua.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, let's talk about. We always start with our recap.
Yeah, a little recap on him.
And we sadly had to say, we both called Joshua Stain. We did.
Zaba Search.
Yes.
You can talk about him.
Yeah, Zaba Search will be joining us in a little bit to actually maybe lord over this the fact that they got it right. And
yes.
We decided to get it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
right. You know what? And after we had said Josh was going to leave, I mean, like everyone was saying, whoever leaves, it's going to be heartbreaking for everybody. So Joshua leaving, you know what? I couldn't picture a better finale than what we had. I mean, it was either going to be like two crazy voices just competing, or it was going to be a singer-songwriter versus this technically great singer, Jessica. Right. And so, I mean, either way, it was going to be a great final night. But
if you think about it, it actually works out better because there is a clear divide between the two.
Yeah. And
I think the country is feeling the same way. You know, and I was actually reading that I think it's one of the other aggregate searches that, you know, measures who's going to win, who's not going to win, that Philip does better on the East Coast than he does on the West Coast. And we're going to ask Zaba Search if they figured that out, if that to be true, if they can back that up, because it's interesting how the country's kind of divided. So
it's crazy.
Eastern Southern boy, but
because like for me, I like everything. So if I'm like, oh, that was great. No, that was great. But what was greater? I don't know what's going on.
So I'm the bad guy. I'm the
yeah, that's you.
Okay, all
that's
right.
You.
But actually, guys, you know, tweet us your thoughts. Make sure to hit us at AfterBuzz TV or even call us at 424-256-1729. And if you're listening to us on iTunes, remember to rate, comment, tell us what you think. If you like the blue shirt, if you like how Ronnie manages the board, or just your thoughts about Idol, subscribe. Tell us you care. It keeps the lights on.
They said last week they really liked your salmon shirt, so I was tempted to wear a salmon shirt today, but I forgot to wear it. But I will go to AfterBuzz and I'll hit the banner, the Amazon thing, and I will get my salmon shirt for next week.
It's the only way to buy things.
For tomorrow, yeah, for the real finale.
That is the only way to buy things.
Right.
I went online yesterday. I'm like, you know what I need?
What do you need?
What would you think I would need?
Headphones?
Yeah, so I went on to AfterBuzz TV, and I went and hit the Amazon banner. Went and got some new headphones. So I got the Dr. Dre Beats by Dre coming through.
Nice.
And yeah.
It kicks us back a few cents to the dollar and helps us out.
So you're welcome, JC.
Hey, thank you. But let's get into the show. Okay, let's get into tonight. You know,
pressure?
Yes, I'm feeling the pressure right now because the whole season we've had our thoughts, we've had our disagreements, we've patched things up, we've had some brawls actually after the show.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, I know. I still have like a fractured eye orbit from he's got a mean left hook. But tonight it was make it or break it, and let's start with let's start with round one. And these songs were picked by Simon Fuller, the creator of American Idol.
You think he did that by himself?
No,
Me either.
he had a staff, he had a team, and of course he went with Whitney Houston for Jessica. I Have Nothing. And wow, I was impressed. Because the last few weeks for me, I've been knocking Jess down, and I was like, she's not bringing it because there's so many of her performances that you remember throughout the season, and just I don't know if last week maybe it was an anomaly, just something that just was off.
Right.
But I think she came back, and she came back at the right time. Just
she had to.
You know what I loved the most was in that first verse, she did a beautiful change right before she went into the chorus. And it was something that Whitney didn't even do in her song. She changed it up, and you could say she made it her own.
Right, which you kind of have to at this point because she is such a great technically good singer. So she was doing kind of everything, and everything was pitch perfect. And tonight it seemed like we didn't have a lot of movement on the stage throughout. For her, she did a lot of just placement, and then or sitting on the piano in the later performance. But what I really liked about this thing is I don't know if it's the same part. I think it was a little closer to the end when she did a modulation change and went up a key, and instead of just trying to hit it, she kind of like growled and attacked it. Is that what you're talking about?
No. That was
that was the second part. Is that what you're getting to?
No. We agree.
Yeah, but it was just. I mean, she definitely was again making it her own. And instead of just like, all right, here I am. Here's my note, and I'm just gonna hit this note and hit that note. She kind of attacked it and just made it more her own. And it made you feel like she wanted this more. So at 16, it's still like there's no way. She's 16.
No, and
it's crazy. Even how she speaks and how she sings and how she carries herself.
Yeah.
It doesn't even make sense to me.
And tonight, I have to say, when she came out, when she and Philip came down the stairs, she looked flawless to me. Yeah. That dress that she was wearing, she looked like a pop star. And that's one thing I noticed tonight more than ever, especially with Jessica. It felt like she was a star, a star. We've always said, that I Will Always Love You, all these songs that we remember that she did. Tonight, I felt like I was watching a superstar. I could see her maybe a few years down the road performing at Caesars like Celine Dion with those big, massive shows, those big year-long, concert tours that stay at Caesars in Vegas. I could see her headlining that whole thing.
Absolutely.
She's that good, and she's only going to grow into that.
Absolutely, and we'll get to it a little bit later when we go to their final round. But it's like she has so many different things that change her sound to make it who she is instead of just a straight pop lane. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. But I definitely agree with you. She didn't have to share the stage with anybody. It was like, sharing the stage with Philip. They're two total different artists, so they each kind of had a spotlight right on them, and they definitely fulfilled that to the fullest. So.
And Philip, and moving on to let's say spotlights. Let's talk about "Stand By Me," which was Philip's song.
Yes,
and of course it's a classic, but I felt like he was setting us up again, like last week. For those of you just listening, we just had a little coaster fly, a little technical difficulty. If you're not watching us,
I always do that.
It's all under control.
The coaster fly was brought to you by GameFly.com/AfterBuzzTV. Just so you know.
What? There we go. Nice
GameFly is like the Netflix for gamers, and it's the easiest way to get your stuff, really.
Yeah. What's your favorite game?
I like them all.
Do you? I'm never gonna. Okay, we've done 400 episodes, and I've yet to get a straight answer out of Mark.
Right.
Seriously, boy, you need to go into politics. Which you need to be hoster, actor, model, musician, politician.
Yeah.
So you're hamp.
Hamp.
No, but back to Philip. When he was going into the song, it was soft and delicate in the beginning. And I was like, okay, we're going to see a different side because he's always growling, but he went into the growl.
Right.
And it was good, but I thought he used the growl this time to avoid hitting the high notes. I felt like it was almost like he was being tentative or something, just right then and there. I was like, why'd he put that in there? Because I know that's his Philip Phillips move, his little growl, but I think he uses that for those notes that he can't really hit, those high notes.
Right, he remember hides it a little bit.
Yeah, I noticed that for the first time tonight.
Yeah,
So-
you know what I liked. Well, I'm a big country fan. He kind of made "Stand by Me" almost like a little campfire country sounding to me. It was a lot different than the original song, and I don't know, I like the cool vibe to it. And they had he was playing the main guitar with the second guitar behind it, kind of making it pretty, whatever. But I liked the. I know what you mean with the growl and trying to hit those the bigger notes in the song. But I thought he definitely Phillipsed it, and but I enjoyed it. I after round one, I was kind of leading towards Phillip, even though the judges were, even the other way. But you know what? At the end of the day, they both came out there with a great first song. And I don't know. I'm gonna call it a tie. What are you thinking for the first round? I think you just told everybody before with that. But
No, I actually graded him. I did grade him this time. Usually we used to say
smiley face.
yes. No, Ewok hugs.
Scratch and sniff.
No, we're gonna judge him. I just went with the grade system, and I gave Jess's performance an A-, B+, and I gave Phillip a B on this one. I gave the round to Jessica. I did. It's tough because it's hard to separate ego from what I've been carrying all season, but you gotta call a spade a spade. And for me, my ears picked up on Jessica's first song more than Phillip's.
I think what they kind of did for me, I know we only had an hour to throw 6 songs into it, but it was like, all right, let's meet them real quick and go, Jessica. So like we didn't even have a chance to all right, ease us into it.
It did seem a little rushed.
Yeah, throughout the whole show,
Yeah.
Ryan, but he's a busy guy.
No, but it did seem rushed, and we're probably gonna rush through this part, which was Jason Derulo. And between the rounds, they did his undefeated song, and you were telling me, we were talking about his story, how he broke his neck in
Right, I think
rehearsal.
I think it was in rehearsal and broke his neck, and but that is why my hat is off to him. First of all, dude's a great performer. He's been hustling for the last, I don't know, probably years before this, but in somewhat of the limelight, last three years, and with this song Undefeated, first of all, it's a great message, and comes out and performs, and he had all the dancers around, and even some of the moves that he was doing, because he's a big performer. It's like every performance you're gonna see him slide, you're gonna see him backflip, which I don't know if that's how he broke his neck, but you're gonna see him backflip, you're gonna see a lot of cool different dance moves, almost Usher like, of course Michael Jackson inspired, but to break your neck and have a brace in your neck for, I'm not sure how long it was on there for, but a long time, and to come out there in front of millions of people and just nail a performance, and still be able to do some crazy cool stuff that I don't even know how you come out there and just kill it like that. And he definitely brought it tonight. So it was definitely a cool performance.
Do you notice? And of course, girlfriend Jordan Sparks was there, and the AI tie-in and whatnot, and it was just great to see him come back so quickly. I mean, it was only a few months ago, right?
Right, yeah, I think he just got the brace off this past month. So just amazing that he can come out there and do what he did tonight. Yeah. And it definitely made a cool moment with the message of the song and everything that he went through. So
I think it's a great theme also for the idols, the 2 remaining, because there is going to be someone that doesn't win tomorrow night, and they're going to have to take those, Jason's words and take them to heart, because I mean, do you think they'll ever have a stage like this? Like, we'll get to the songs later, but their last song, that moment, will they have that again ever?
I don't. You can't, because I mean, it's crazy that this is the finale. So it's like your last chance. So not only do you want to pick the perfect song each time, but you want to, well, maybe not for Phillip, but for Jessica, wear the most beautiful dress, or whatever. And where Phillip is just like,
he wore beautiful gray.
Yeah, I'll wear what I wore last week. And but that's just it's so crazy to prepare for this stuff. It's like I wonder how they each prepare. Like, Jessica gets her nails done, she gets this, does the routine, does everything perfect, and then Phil's probably kind of just like chilling backstage.
Well, that's a great question, because this season they were trying to up the just add a little trick in the bag, and they added Tommy Hilfiger. And where was he? What happened to him? Once Phillip started denying him, he kind of like disappeared. Remember the first few episodes?
Yeah.
They'd have the Tommy segment, how he dressed the idols.
Right. Yeah. And then we go into pick something out from American Idol by Tommy or whatever. Maybe they weren't feeling it, America.
Yeah, unless Tommy has a new gray line
coming out soon. Well, he told him not to wear gray because it's boring and it doesn't showcase anything. But Phillip proved him wrong.
Speaking of not boring, yes, second round, Charlotte Church's "The Prayer" done by Jessica Sanchez.
Round 2, fight.
Yes. I love this song.
Yeah.
I absolutely adore this song. It was a great choice for, you know, and I think, I don't know if she talked to Jimmy about this, but the fact that she could pick a song that they performed, she didn't perform this during the final round. She performed it, was it in Hollywood?
To get into the top 24.
Right.
So it's still, we'd still remember it a little bit, but, or did I remember it a little bit? I won't speak for both of us. No, you don't remember this one?
I don't remember. I did not remember.
I just remember how pure it was and how the ending kind of built or whatever. And because I don't know this song away from this show. And Jessica has had so many great performances after that. So she couldn't really do Whitney Houston because she kind of already did it tonight. But this song was a perfect song for me. Just how pure it was, how beautiful she sounded, and then the build, and then she had that one big note right in the middle that just kind of just like, well, if you're not feeling chills, you're not alive right now.
I got goosies. I got
Yeah.
Oh my
and
God.
then she ended with some like cool falsetto stuff.
Yeah.
And then got big again, and you thought she was gonna go even bigger, and then she kind of sat back and just made it pretty again. It was.
You
Dude.
think she's learned from, let's say, Joshua Ledet? Because Joshua would do those, you know, those kind of little things you would not know. Jayla would say, you don't know what to expect from Joshua.
Yeah, for sure.
You never know. And that spontaneity, I think, could really help her in this song.
Yeah.
And she added the vibrato at the end of every line in the first half of the song, and I was like, oh, that's what she does. That little trick she does, that little vibrato end at each little part of the at the end of the verse. And I'm like, oh my God, I was in heaven in the song. And that last note.
I thought you were gonna say you didn't like that because, what's her name?
Which one?
Holly, when she was doing the vibrato, but she maybe did it throughout the whole song.
No, but here's the thing. But
Jessica's better, so you like her better.
I would not say she was better. I'm just gonna say it was different.
Right. Yeah.
It was different. It was just the placement and the way it was used. It was used in a smart way. It wasn't overused.
Right.
You know, she knew she had us. And like you said, that middle note.
Just set it off.
That goes in we're gonna call that the hero note or the champion note, because I'm not saying anything like that. That's for Steven Tyler, who Steven Tyler's already calling. He already called who won.
He did?
Yeah, he said it since last week.
Oh, right. Yeah, I
And
remember
he
that.
reiterated it this week again in an interview, which if we get time to, we'll get to in a little bit. But
Absolutely.
let's move on to Mr. Philip Phillips.
Philip Phillips, Moving Out by Billy Joel.
Billy
Joel.
Joel
week that he did. He pulled out all black everything.
Uh-huh.
He wanted to switch from gray to black. But it definitely had more of a Dave Matthews Band sounding, which Philip has kind of gotten away from in the last few weeks and started sounding more like an original artist. And I don't know, you could tell like he was having fun with it and he liked his choice and nothing else mattered. It's like I felt that like it was a solid performance, and it's hard to come out after Jessica just nailed that song. But I mean, I thought it was good. It wasn't great for me. But what did you think?
I thought he took some lessons from Colton, because I'm feeling like Bruno Tonioli from Dance with the Stars.
Go stand up. You can do it.
He simmered. He smoldered. He was on fire. And he what? Oops. Ron. I think Ronnie was already gonna mute us because we were being too loud. No. We got calls coming up. All right, so we're gonna get those in a second. But yeah, he smoldered, and actually, I thought if he wins, I think the sax player should get some of the money,
Like a lot of it.
like some of the prizes, because
Yeah, was she playing clarinet tonight?
I don't. Oh no, maybe it was there's an alto, baritone, tenor sax.
I'm not good with my brass instruments.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember. I didn't pay attention. I just by the sound I knew. I think it was an alto, because if it was straight, like the one Kenny G uses, and that he plays I believe he plays an alto. If you guys know, if chat roll knows, Watchtower Bass, I know you're watching. Let us know if you can figure out what sax, and we'll definitely use that, pick up that suggestion. But I didn't think the song was dynamic enough for the moment. This is it. This is it.
You wanted Thriller. I wanted the full version of Thriller. No, but I wanted something cool, something like totally Philip Phillips,
Right.
Instead of, but like, don't get me wrong, it was a good performance. It was almost great performance, but it wasn't as dynamic. I like how you said that. That for sure makes sense. In this moment, you got to leave it all out there, and for that song, I don't think you did.
Yeah, no, and that's what I'm afraid of. I know he's true to his word, but I don't want him. And no offense, Idol fans, I'm the biggest Idol fan I know, and next to Mark. I don't want him to, you know, end up in obscurity or like one of the lesser, you know, not less known idols like champs. Like let's say, I'm gonna put it out there, like
Taylor Hicks.
Thank you. I really was gonna say, yeah, Taylor, and maybe even like Lee DeWise and just.
Well, and it seemed like even the crowd was in favor of Philip because they kind of said, okay, this is, you know, I think it was Randy who says round 2 goes to Jessica again. So in the like, what do you think, crowd? And they kind of booed him out.
You're right.
And then it was like, you know, and then I think I forget who said Philip got the round 2, and then the crowd went crazy.
I think it was Steven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
no, it was J-Lo. Because I think J-Lo has a little crush.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. J-Lo said Philip Phillips, Randy called it even, and Steven said Jessica.
Yeah, so it was a little bit, yeah, it was crazy to see how the crowd reacted, and I don't know if that plays a factor, but it does.
Most of the boos seemed a little high-pitched. So I'm thinking they were young ladies, you know, but this is it. I think this is all the marbles. I think a lot of people will judge it by their last song, and not a lot. I don't know how many people have been with them since episode 1, you know, all the way through, and this is it. And this is when they sing the song that they're gonna possibly release. And Jessica started with "Change Nothing."
Yeah.
Should she have changed anything on that song? You think?
She should have changed most of it. I think it was a good song. No, I mean it was a good song, but you know what? The last 5 years, I can't remember them picking a great song. Like they started having like people turn in songs that, you know, from fans turning in songs, and you could win the contest to write a song for the winner, and then the winner would both people in the finale would sing the same song. I like the fact that they did 2 different songs, but Change Nothing, I don't know, it had some big notes and cool runs, and she made the best out of it, and I don't have much to say about it. I mean,
You're too nice.
she made the best out of a song like that, you know, so like
it just seemed different. It seemed alien, and all the judges even said that. You know, I missed her vibrato.
Yeah. Like,
I'm in love with her vibrato, and it was interesting. You know, we rewound it because we had it on DVR, and we noticed that she was singing on prompter. And I'm sure Philip is too, but that's interesting how they have.
Do you think it's just that final song?
I don't know. That would be.
Hey, good morning, guys. Tonight's the big finale. Here's the song you're gonna be singing. Oh shit.
Yeah, unless you're Joshua Ledet, who can memorize a song and kill it in 15 minutes, and they need it on prompter, you know. But I love the beginning. I loved, and you and I both like went, oh, in the beginning, she sounded exactly like Beyonce. I thought.
Yeah, definitely had the BB Chez going on,
and it was great. I mean, even Beyonce would have probably been, oh, that's pretty good, you know. But then. It kind of fell off the wheels for me a little bit.
Yeah, she tried to make some cool runs with like the pre-chorus and whatnot, but I mean with this song and all right. So here's the thing: whoever wins, top 5 are probably going with Interscope anyways to get a contract and to make an album. And they're talking about, you know, she has a choice to do, you know, it's going to be pop music because she's a pop star or whatever.
Right.
But she has a choice if she wants to do urban or if she wants to do if she wants to throw that soul in there. But I don't know how true that is because, especially at the age of 16, with your first contract, with your first album, I think they're going to say, which is so unfortunate. And this is one of the things that I hate about the business is that if, you know, okay, well, do you want this contract or not? Do you want to, you know, do you want to make your first album and make huge hits? And then the second album, you probably still won't have a word. And then the third album, then maybe you will get to write a little bit. She's 16. She should be able to, you know, change and like, all right, this is not me. I want to go a little bit more urban. I want to go throw a little more soul into that.
Right.
But I don't know how much, I don't know if there's any truth to J-Lo and Randy saying that stuff. Like even saying like, all right, Randy was like, this is for Jimmy and this is for everybody. And for you, Jessica, you know, you should be able to make decisions like this. But I don't think she really gets the chance to do that.
Yeah, so and I imagine has that happened to like your colleague people you've met along the way?
Yeah, and it's unfortunate, but that's just the way it goes. Which I understand because the label knows best, and that you know, this is what you're gonna sing it this way, and let's see how it does. And then if you're fortunate to get another album, then maybe you get to do a little writing or change up a little bit. But I don't know. That's what makes having someone like Philip Phillips do something, you know, and just kind of saying, you know what, I'm wearing gray, I'm doing this, I'm singing this song, I'm gonna like what I do, and this is how I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna change anything about me. That's what makes it so cool to have an artist like that.
Okay, so let's think about this. What if, you know, like Philip stuck to his guns and he, you know, he is the true artist as they say, and let's say he doesn't win, and let's say Jessica does win it, but with Philip, he goes away, he goes maybe into, you would call like maybe a lull for a couple of years, but he comes back because he has all that material.
Right.
He's, you know.
Which I don't think he's going to go into a lull because, I mean, he's going to be just as, well, I'm not going to say just as big as Jessica or whoever wins this thing. No, I think they both have a chance to make it huge, and Jessica could be around forever, and Philip could take on a whole different sound, which we kind of heard in his last song.
Right.
And
Home, right?
Yeah, Home. It was definitely really cool. It was kind of, I felt a little country vibe in there again.
Okay.
And then Mumford & Sons, which Randy took the words out of my mouth. But yeah, it was kind of like a foot stomping song. And instead of it being, you know, formatted like, all right, verse, chorus, it was kind of like he went on like a little bit of like where they did the harmonies and stuff and the whoa, whoa, whatever it was.
Right.
And it was cool that it finally is paying off that he's sticking to his guns and wanting to do, you know, everything his way. Because now they're like, oh my God, it's working. Okay, we will let you do everything you want to do. So I think his song definitely fit him 1,000,000,000% more.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not saying that Jessica's song, when you hear her cut that record, it's gonna sound brilliant on the radio, or whatever. I mean, it's not gonna be no moment like this, Kelly Clarkson. But will there ever be another moment like this?
Hopefully, maybe Philip. But okay. What station would you hear Philip's song, that Home, on?
I mean, alternative rock. I mean, out here, 98.7 Star.
Okay, and that was the only station I could think of.
But I think they put it at 102.7 too. Well, like Kiss FM, like
because of like Gautier, maybe.
Gautier, especially bringing that back. And I know that coming out this year, like even like Justin Bieber's album and a lot of people that coming out, a lot of it's going to be acoustic, like acoustic pop, whatever. But they're still keeping those acoustic instruments in there. So,
do you think maybe? Because for me, I just felt the flow of the night early on was, you know, on Jessica's side. And then this song, you know, he got to close out the show. He had the big accompaniment. He had the drummers. He had the ambiance. It was almost like a moment. And the way they were panning him on the camera, it was this just like this amazing like champion song. It was so, there was so much drama in it, and I was like, wow.
It's like it almost felt like they were giving it to him.
They were trying. Who knows who's gonna win? But it just seems like, you know, that just the way they set it up, because Jessica didn't have any of that background,
and she doesn't necessarily need that. And I mean that adds to any performance. I mean, I guess it comes down to the type of artist you are, and I mean, two total different sides of the spectrum. So,
well, before we get into predictions and all that fun stuff, we do have a caller, and she's gonna rule over us because she's got bragging rights for this week.
Man versus machine.
Yes, man versus machine. Hey, Ronnie, do we have Kat on the line?
Yeah, I'm here, guys. Hey, how are you doing?
Good. How are you, Kat? Okay, what'd you think of tonight?
Oh, I thought it was amazing. And I got to tell you, my one word for the show is confusing. Because I loved Jessica the first two rounds, and then Philip brought it on home that third round. So I'm baffled.
Yeah. Well, because I want to say first of all, congratulations to you last week for calling it correctly, even without. You know,
thank you. That's the reason why I called today, because I couldn't quite remember who you guys predicted last week to go home again. Who was that?
You know, well, here's the thing, Kat. It's great that you asked that, because you can actually check out our shows on iTunes and, you know, download them, rate and comment to see what we said.
It's free.
Yes, so definitely have you and your Zaba Search fan club, because you do have a fan club. Have them check us out. Well, then we could dispute. Okay, all right, fine. You said that Jessica would stay, and we picked Joshua. You are right. Oh, you reign supreme.
Okay, that's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure. I couldn't quite remember, but thanks for refreshing the memory, and I'll definitely go back and watch that again too.
Oh, thanks. So what have you know? So what's gone on in the social media aspect? Because that's what you guys do. You guys measure the popularity of the artist by as we know, as of right now, because you won't tell us all the secrets, it's the Facebook likes and the Twitter followers and the growth, you know, over the weeks, correct?
Yeah, those are some of the factors we measure. And just this morning, we put up a blog post on our site over at Zaba Search, and the data shows us that since last week, Jessica's rate of growth on both Twitter and Facebook has really kind of shot up there. She grew by about 25% on both of those parameters. Okay. And that's compared to Philip, who grew about, in the 14% range. So
Interesting.
So she's
yeah,
building momentum.
she's got some momentum there, and I'm wondering if it's because Joshua left the show and perhaps
They
his
kinda jumped
fan
on
base
board.
kind of trickled on over to Jessica.
Oh, so yeah, dynamic singer meet dynamic singer. There we go. Oh wow. Who?
Yeah.
I didn't think.
I mean,
actually,
that's what I was thinking.
host, actor, model, musician, and Brainiac as well.
Brainiac, that's me.
Yes, Ham.
Hey, I got a question. How did you come up with Zaba Search as the name? Is that like the person that you go make search, like Zaba Search, or did you have like a a reason? For
You know, I got to be honest with you. That question predates me. So
We've stumped them finally.
Zaba Search has just been a mainstay and a staple out there. It's been around for a long time, and it's always been the go-to source of information for people when they're looking for friends and family. So it's just a Zaba Search.
You know, now I was going to ask you with this specific search tonight with Jessica versus Philip. I was reading on one of the boards that, and this is from another Idol predictor, and they were saying that that Philip tends to have a stronger East Coast following than he does a West Coast following, and judging by like the votes that he's getting. Is there any way? Do you guys have any breakdown of how they do regionally by chance?
You know, I don't have any of that research on Philip's fan base. Though that whole geography thing comes into play again when we're talking about Jessica.
Mm-hmm.
One of the interesting things about her is, you know, she's got this huge fan base and this huge following, but since American Idol only allows voting from the continental United States and its territories, you know, a lot of those votes may not be there for her. That social media following just may not translate into votes for her. So that's one of those big ifs out there that we're going to have to watch and see what happens.
Yeah, I once again I checked YouTube again today, and I was looking at the top songs for from the American Idol channel. Mm-hmm. Since we're using social media, we're using the internet and things like that. Jessica more than doubles anyone else's songs as top songs on for this season of Idol. She's got like 10 million views on one, and I think the next person has like 6 million, which I think is Philip. You know, you guys might want to check on YouTube, but yeah, she dwarfs them. But here's the thing: I came across this stat. Ms. Zaba Search. I gotta get something on you. I read in the last 24 hours, if people ran a Google search, and I got this from the people I believe at Wet Paint, and they said the Google search hits for Philip Phillips was at 56 million, and for Jessica was only 31 million in the last 31 hours. So, you know, let's say like maybe the more like the older demo that isn't necessarily on Twitter and Facebook as much. Could they come into play for tomorrow's ultimate final vote?
Well, absolutely, because I think you're spot on there. I think we all know that Philip Phillips, his fan base is going to be largely made up of those teen girls. Mm-hmm. And Jessica's demographic that she's appealing to, I think it might be everybody outside of that, essentially. So the older crowd or the males. I mean, possibly these are segments who aren't as likely to vote. And if they do vote, I'm not sure that they will vote with the same fervor as a teen girl. So,
yeah, no, I did get a chance to check out your article on why Jessica would win or why she wouldn't win, and as with Philip Phillips. But you said something interesting that Jessica could be getting, that there was evidence that Jessica could actually be getting those teen girl votes instead of Philip now. I don't know if I read that correctly. Yeah. I said, you said that there was evidence that viewers outside the teen demo favored Jessica. Did you find something? What did you find?
Well, you know, just scanning all the tweets out there, it struck me as amazing that a lot of these tweets are coming from young women. And, you know, normally you'd peg them in the Phillips column, but we're seeing them go for Jessica, and I think you saw it in the studio audience tonight. Mm-hmm. A lot of women holding up signs, go Jessica, that sort of thing. I think that support might be there. So it's all going to be kind of confusing about who it's going to be tomorrow night.
Well, we know you're just as confused as all of us, but if I had to ask you, who would be your idol pick? Who do you pick? It could be separate.
I got to think about that one.
It could be separate from Zaba.
After living with all these numbers so much, it's actually kind of hard to separate yourself from it.
Wow.
Personally, I think that Jessica is an amazingly talented singer. But on the other hand, I think I'd be more likely to go by Philip Phillips' music.
Oh.
So what does that mean? I don't know.
That is the $64,000 question. We've been asking it all season. So very good answer because you gave us no answer. But,
That's just like Mark, I think.
Oh, wait a second.
I'm dealing with a bunch of non-committals. Okay. Well, better yet, why don't we say, when will you have the answer? When will you have Zaba Search's answer on who's going to win Idol by?
So we're collecting all the data overnight, and we've been collecting over the past week, and it all goes into our model, our prediction engine, and we should have the results posted on our site at zabasearch.com by about noon tomorrow.
Okay, noon tomorrow Pacific?
Yes.
Okay, just so
exactly.
the fans know. So you guys are eager to know. You get the jump on the actual show. So you will know, hopefully, what's in the envelope before even Ryan sees it or before he opens it.
Craziness.
So that's the power of the internet.
Yes, well, it's a prediction, so it's our best guess.
Awesome. Well, Kat, thank you so much for, being at our heels. We won some, we haven't given our predictions yet. So who knows, maybe we can have a comeback this week in our battle of man versus machine.
I know, now we have to throw the fact that she said, well, kind of said Philip. So now I'm like, I want to go against her. I have to throw that in my mind.
Well, we have a commercial break to figure that out. But before that, we got to say Kat, thank you for joining us. And definitely don't be a stranger to AfterBuzz and AfterBuzzTV.com.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
Hey, we'll see you, Kat.
See ya.
All right,
Bye-bye.
bye-bye. Let's take a quick commercial break, and we're going to come back with our amazing segment of Idol Me. Maybe some news and notes, and maybe a prediction or two after this.
Hey, guys. What's happening? We are the America's Best Dance Crew ABDC After Show coming to you guys. We watch the show every week just like you, and we go every Friday to the set to interview and talk to the crews behind the scenes and let you know what is happening behind the scenes.
Hey everybody, we are AfterBuzz Mob Wives Edition, the only Mob Wives after show out there. I'm your host, Adrienne Vera, with my lovely co-host,
Kevin Undergaro.
Grant Rudder. Cameron Marston.
You guys can check us out every week. We have a lot of fun. We drink wine. We talk about the show. So check us out. We're also doing the Big Ann Show. So tune into that and Mob Wives Chicago.
Hey guys, what's happening? We are the Game of Thrones AfterBuzz crew. I'm Dave Klein.
Bethany Jaber. Kristen Elizabeth Snyder.
Simone Boyce.
And we come to you every single week live Sunday nights at 9 p.m. Pacific time, for we are kings of the Game of Thrones after show. And we have one thing to say. Oh, Shadow Baby. Oh, Shadow Baby. Oh, Shadow Baby.
AfterBuzz TV. What do you want to buzz about?
AfterBuzz.
AfterBuzz. AfterBuzz.
We spare no expense on cool graphics. We are back. All right, guys, it is time for, we did this game about, was it 2 weeks ago? Yeah. And due to the fan frenzy, well, mainly Ronnie just likes to make fun of us, we were playing Idol Me, and this is where Mark will select, or do you want me to, we can change.
Either way.
Okay. Mark is going to select one of these pages. If you're listening to us on iTunes, we've got a few sheets on our AfterBuzz table, and on each sheet, it's face down, but there is a personality that has been on Idol before. And Mark's going to pick it. He's not going to see who it is, and I'm going to interview him as this character.
JC, before you do this fascinating game, can we just re-emphasize the free trial on Gamefly? It's just so good. We just love it so much. We talked about it a little bit, but I didn't say the website address, so it's gamefly.com/AfterBuzzTV. So if you want your free trial with the Netflix of video games, just reminding you. But I mean, I'm ready for the game though. I am excited about this game that you created. This is you originated this idea.
Can you get this game on GameFly?
I hope so, definitely, and especially if you got a 15-day free trial, you you can get Uncharted, like Call of Duty and Idol Me. Ooh. Possibly. Foreshadowing.
Idol for Idol Nation.
Here's the game. Mark is gonna pick one. We're gonna do a quick minute interview.
Oh, thanks. All right.
Ready?
I'm not looking.
Okay.
Who am I?
You are Steven Tyler.
Yeah.
This is perfect, actually, because I'm going to combine it with our news and notes, because you know what, Steven? There's actually a report in the Washington Post reports that you may not come back to Idol, that you're mulling it over.
Well, Idol is a beautiful, beautiful thing, and so is my career. And right now I'm in Lyric Land, and I'm writing it for a new album for Aerosmith. So it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Either way.
We heard. Is it true that you're possibly going to be singing it at the second half of tomorrow's show. You're going to be singing the first single of the new Aerosmith album.
Yes, never been more certain about anything in my life.
Awesome. Now tell me, how hard is it sitting next to J-Lo? Because I heard, this is your quote. Now tell me if I'm right. One of the reasons you would stay there is you enjoy working with J-Lo because she's a sexy beast, and I'm always flirting with her, and it's not a bad thing. What's up with that? So is J-Lo gonna keep you here, or what? Are you gonna stay?
I'll stay if J-Lo stays, but I know she wants more money. That means I want more money, and so yeah, if she stays, I'll stay. I mean, it's like I said earlier, an egg, if it's hatched before or later, it could be rotten. And Philip did great tonight.
You know, Steven, that was the best quote, and I absolutely do not understand a word coming out of your mouth. But definitely, you know, I know you've got the tour coming up this summer, and hopefully you stay with Idol. And
check us out.
Definitely, Steven Tyler, everybody. Thank you, Steven.
You got it.
All right, that was all right. All right, now. And now that we're done with that, let's move on.
Idol you? No.
No. You wanna idol me?
Yeah, go, JC.
Okay,
you gotta be idled.
Okay. I'm.
Come on, the nation depends on this.
Really? Okay, I'm not even looking.
You are Sarah Jessica Parker.
Oh my God.
No, I'm just kidding. You are half of Ryan Seacrest.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay, hold on. Okay, awesome. Go ahead and ask me.
So the other side of you is Brian Dunkelman. There you go.
And that creates the everyday man. All right. You're a very busy guy. Tonight you had 1 hour to do the whole entire show. You seemed a bit rushed. Were you?
Funny question. See, in my line of work, I'm up at 4:45 in the morning. I got the show at KISS, and then I'm producing a couple shows on E. I have to have lunch between 11:06 and 11:13, or else someone's getting fired.
Ooh, very interesting.
It is difficult. It is very hard. But let's say, as Dick Clark says, the show must always go on.
Absolutely. And tonight the show definitely did go on, but it seemed like your hair was a little bit higher than usual. Do you do your own hair, or does somebody else do it? And if they do it, do they do it before each one of your jobs?
Well, it's funny you mentioned that. Speaking of doing, we are doing a show for AfterBuzz TV because we Bing it, and actually we go on Bing and we search for a little. It's a hair school actually, and they're brought in from the Middle East. We bring them in daily. You know, it's unlimited expenses, but they come and do my hair, and they use Redken.
Ryan,
Ooh, love Redken.
Yes.
Speaking of doing and your busy schedule, when do you have time for Miss Julianne Hough? Like how do you schedule all that? How does that work?
Yes, Julianne.
Half of you. How does half of that?
Well, you know what? It's funny.
Maneuver.
Julianne's dad actually.
He helps out?
No. We do spend some time. I was up in their house up in Utah, and we were dancing. We were doing we were dancing the Xbox Dance Your Bleep Off, and so it's more about quality, not quantity, Ronnie. You know, I've actually got her penciled in for November 13th.
Got it. Okay.
Yes. So
half of you does.
Yeah.
Okay.
Her dad loves you and said you were a very good person. So
yes.
Our hat is off to you. You do a great job. And thank you for everything. I listen to all your shows. I love them all.
Why, thank you, Mark. Thank you, Ronnie. And let's move on to our next segment. So, Ronnie, dim the lights for predictions, and here we go. Woo.
And now,
okay,
you're AfterBuzz.
I'm moving all this stuff.
It's crazy. You just took that off your face, but I don't even think anything changed.
All right, nothing has changed because now we're in predictions. Whew. It's kind of okay, guys, if you're just listening to us, I have now placed 2 sheets on our AfterBuzz TV table. One has Jessica, one has Philip. And on the count of 3, Ronnie, you're going to count down and tell us, 3, 1, 2, 3. And on 3, we got to grab who we think's going to win.
Thank you for
tomorrow.
teaching me how to count.
I
depended on that. Thank you. I was going to have trouble.
All right. So on the count of 3, we're going to reach for who we think's going to win, who's going to take it. Ronnie?
Oh, 1, 2, 3.
Oh! In a change. Really? Okay.
Can I explain myself?
Of course. This is why we did this.
This is why we do the show. I think Phillips is going to win this. I would like for her to win this show.
Oh, don't cover your bases.
I'm not covering my bases. Listen, I think she deserves it. I think they both deserve it, but I think tomorrow Phillips will be the one with the confetti falling down on him, and even though the confetti will be falling on both of them, but he'll be the one with the huge trophy that they get.
Philip Phillips is your winner.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Jessica, just because?
I've been with Philip since day one.
Craziness.
Since day one, since his Thriller performance. This is why I really, literally driving to the studio today, I was still thinking about it. And what did it for me was the overall season. And when I thought how many songs I could name of Jessica's that I remembered that had an impact on me. I Will Always Love You. Now I'm blanking because of the show, you know, and you know, I'm Telling You, you know, I went off like 3 or 4 songs, and for Philip, I just remember it's an easy breezy, cool vibe, but Jessica, those were star-making songs, and that's why I switched my vote. So. Wow. I can't believe it.
Great speech.
I also think, yeah, that was heartfelt. I also think that Jessica getting voted off and being brought back, like that also builds to the story too. Yeah. So if it is Jessica, that's kind of why also.
All right, so that's about
interesting theory.
I hope it's her.
No, thank you, Ronnie. No, that's about it for us tonight, guys. Mark, where can they find you?
Find me, Mark ELNALAN on Twitter. How about you, my man?
You can find me at The Everyday Man on Twitter. And Ronnie, what about you?
Ronnie Jr. Media and randomlyronniejr.com.
All right, and guys, come back tomorrow because we're having a wrap up and we're gonna talk about what we liked, what we didn't like, if America got it right, and we may have a special surprise performance
by you.
It's a surprise. It is, and it's all going down tomorrow on AfterBuzz TV. We'll see you then.
Good night.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.